Ladies and gentlemen, the liberal universe is melting down before our very eyes. CNN Jeff Zucker out after failing to disclose a certain type of relationship with colleague. I was wrong. I was required to disclose it when I began, but I didn't, Zucker said in his memo. So he's out. This is, of course, a network that had Chris Cuomo, who is, of course, related to America's governor, the Emmy Award-winning Andrew Cuomo, who, by the way, lost his Emmy, and who apparently met with New York's mayor for dinner the other night. That was kept under wraps until recently. And really quickly, you have AOC, who quit Twitter, and then I think got back on Twitter just to go after Joe Manchin. And of course, you have Whoopi Goldberg, who was suspended. So you have the top boss at CNN out. That's after Chris Cuomo was kicked out. That's after Andrew Cuomo, his brother, was kicked out of New York. And then you have Whoopi Goldberg out at The View. And so the liberal hierarchy of morally superior imbeciles is crashing. These people have made millions, billions actually, pontificating, judging, condemning, and they are the least qualified to do so. Nobody's really qualified to condemn and judge, unless you're an actual judge. then you could judge, or you're God. But other than that, most people on this planet don't get to throw rocks if they live in glass houses, and these people live in the most brittle of glass houses. It's stunning how, I mean, you could just look from Michael Avenatti to Jussie Smollett to Alec Baldwin, who, by the way, he's being invited to a film festival, and then one of the spokespeople is like, oh yeah, we're glad to have him back. It's like, well, he just ended the cinematographer's life, accidentally, but, it's like he ended a cinematographer's life in the manner that a drunk driver ends the life of a human being walking on the sidewalk. He did not abide by safety protocol, and I will do a segment on that after this. I'll have a live stream tonight, by the way, on this channel at around 8:39 p.m. Be here for the live stream. And subscribe to the Stock Market Crash channel. I have a segment right after this one on the Stock Market Crash channel. But you can look, Jeff Zucker is out. Jeff Zucker resigns from CNN after a relationship with top executive. So is Jeff Zucker's CNN ouster Chris Cuomo's revenge? So this might have been the result of a deposition or a lawsuit involving Chris Cuomo. Female CNN staff furious. This person still has a job after Jeff Zucker affair. So these are the people who, by the way, like I said, they'll tell you how bad Trump is. They will warp the minds of impressionable liberal Democrats. They will lie by omission. So the lie by omission, that's the huge thing. It's not that CNN or MSNBC or the Washington Post or the New York Times, it's not like they lie. They'll tell you only part of the story. They'll tell you the part of the story that benefits the Democratic Party. They will not tell you the part of the story that benefits Trump or Trump Republicans. They might tell you the part of the story or the elements of a certain event that help never Trump Republicans, but definitely it'll always be, you know what, Hunter's laptop, that's a Russian, disinformation campaign, and then we find out that the New York Post's reporting was absolutely accurate. Absolutely. Bottom line is that these people will tell you how bad Trump is, and then they will get caught in the most despicable, sad, and pathetic. I mean, they'll have to actually, in one case, make up a crime. Their political side, the Democratic Party's political side, is so warped and pathetic that one actor will have to actually pay people to fabricate a crime. Okay? And that's where they investigated Trump. See, they have to actually fabricate a crime, and with Trump, they can't find a crime. Like, they can't find, and then they'll fabricate a crime with Trump. They can't find anything he did. They haven't indicted or charged or arrested Donald J. Trump. Then they never will. And they never will. Because every single, the tax returns, they found nothing. They've had his tax returns for, now, about a year. Okay, New York has. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. Okay. And I mean, he lived for years. They had estate taxes for years in New York. So it's like, there's nothing there. He never worked with Putin. You have to be a complete and utter imbecile to believe that he was installed by the Kremlin. Okay? This was perpetuated by CNN. All the absurd, fake, phony, false stories. CNN people had to resign. They just perpetuated these myths. And if they don't have these myths, they can't... Look, if they don't have the myth that Trump told people to do horrible things in January, what do they have? Build Back Better? They don't have that. What policies? They love these policies. Their policies caused record highs in inflation. And hit subscribe to the Stock Market Crash channel right after this. Just because the market's going back up, that doesn't mean the market will go back up and down, up and down. It doesn't mean that it's a correction. We're heading towards a recession. The market, we will see 2,000 to 3,000 point drops in the stock market, in the Dow. And Bitcoin's unfortunately going to get to 10,000. The Dow Jones eventually will get to 20,000, back to 20,000, unfortunately. I mean, this is where Jeremy Grantham said we're in a super bubble, only the fourth in 100 years. So this financial catastrophe that Germany is seeing, Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, other countries around the world, this is going to engulf the entire world. And it's because of the smartest people among us, the morally superior liberal Democrats in this country and other countries. They've run the world into the ground with their apoplectic, hysterical reaction to everything from climate change to you-know-what. Now you have energy costs at record highs. You couldn't plan this. You couldn't even plan this. You couldn't, everything that they allegedly want, the opposite takes place. We have fossil fuels, coal, oil, gas at record highs. Oil is about to get over $100 per barrel. Oh, by the way, what does Putin have on mashed potato brains, Biden? Or what does he have on? And so now Biden's sending Americans? I mean, this is why you vote for Trump. Because Trump wouldn't have this hysterical reaction. And it wouldn't have taken place under Trump. Why didn't he invade Ukraine under Trump? I thought he's a puppet of Moscow, Trump. No, I guess we know who the real puppets are. The most incompetent people. There was leaked information today to Axios that I reported on this morning. Not many people are interested, but here, the segment is prior to this one. That Biden's administration didn't even plan. They had no clue what to do. They had no clue what to do pertaining to the Afghanistan withdrawal. And they were completely unprepared. The Doha Agreement called for a May 1st timeline. When these complete ignorant imbeciles say, oh, well, Trump didn't remove Americans, it was Biden. No, Trump did. He single-handedly negotiated 20 years of failed foreign policy. It was Biden who botched the agreement. He was in office, not Trump. It was for a 2021 May 1st timeline to withdraw, a deadline to withdraw. And he went past the May 1st deal. And so then you had 13 Americans who lost their lives and over 100 Afghans who lost their lives directly because of Biden. And this is what people wanted. They didn't like Trump's tweets, and now we have the entire liberal public relations monstrosity crumbling down. Give me your thoughts below. And a recession and geopolitical nightmares, all because of Trump's tweets were too offensive. Now we have Whoopi Goldberg suspended, okay, for the most absurd take on world history. And I wrote a Jerusalem Post article on AOC's distortion of world history at that time period. That's going to be below in the pinned comment. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now to this channel. I'll be back in a couple.